The call came in at 2:13 a.m. A girl's voice, barely a whisper, trembling with fear. She said she was in the woods. She said someone was following her. Then the line went silent. Police arrived within the hour, but she was gone. There were no footprints, no signs of struggle, only a backpack and a diary left under a tree like someone wanted it found. That girl was Eleanor Blackwood, and what she wrote in those pages turned a simple missing persons case into a mystery that still haunts Coldwater County. Eleanor Blackwood wasn't the type of girl who made headlines. She didn't party, didn't date. She wasn't popular. She was quiet, always sketching, always wandering the woods near her aunt's cabin on the edge of Rivermouth, Michigan. A small town, one gas station, one school, an endless forest. She was 17, a straight-A student, lived with her Aunt May since she was 9, after her parents were killed in a car crash on Highway 12. Since then, she stayed in her own world, walked alone, read alone, drew trees, shadows, crows. Her teachers called her gifted. Her classmates called her weird. The town barely noticed her until she vanished. It was October 3rd, a cold, wind-cutting night. She told her aunt she was going for a quick walk before bed, said she'd be back in 30 minutes. She took her sketchbook, her phone, her hoodie. That was the last time anyone saw her. At 2:13 a.m., dispatch received a call from Eleanor's cell phone. The transcript is short. Dispatcher: 911, what's your emergency? Eleanor, whispering, please, help me, I'm in the woods. I don't know where. Dispatcher: are you hurt? Can you see any signs or roads nearby? Eleanor: he's coming back. Dispatcher: who's coming back? Eleanor, breathing heavily: he has the mask again, the one with no eyes. Dispatcher: Eleanor, stay with me. Don't hang up. Eleanor: tell Aunt May I didn't run away. Then came a sound like something cracking, maybe a branch. Then screaming. One final gasp. Then silence. The line went dead, and Eleanor Blackwood was officially missing. Coldwater County deputies arrived within 40 minutes. The location: a stretch of forest called Dead Pine Trail. Locals don't go there. Hunters say there's no game. Hikers get lost. Stories go back decades. Disappearances, whispers in the trees, strange lights. But officially, nothing. Just miles of dense, uncut woods. Police found Eleanor's phone ping had last bounced off a tower near the Old Quarry trailhead. K-9 units were deployed. Searchlights swept the forest floor. The air was thick with pine needles and frost, the kind of silence that presses into your skin. Then they found it. A torn black backpack, ripped down the side like it had been yanked open. Her sketchbook was inside, pages smudged, a pencil snapped in two. Her water bottle lay nearby, and next to a rotting birch tree, half covered in moss and leaves, a leather-bound diary. It was standing upright, not dropped, not tossed. It had been placed there, intentionally, almost like she wanted someone to find it. The cover was scratched, charred at the edges. The first page was clean, written in neat cursive. If you're reading this, I'm probably gone, but not because I wanted to be. Don't believe anyone who says I ran away. This forest has rules, and I broke them. Deputies flipped through the pages. They were filled with entries dating back months, all handwritten, all increasingly frantic. I see him again, same place, behind the birch grove, just standing there. His face, it's like it's made of bark, hollow eyes. He doesn't move, just watches. At first I thought it was a dream, but my drawings match. The same shape, the same mask. Tonight I followed the sound, like bells, deep, echoing, like they're underwater. There was something carved into the tree, my name, but I've never been there before. I think he knows I can see him. One entry was circled in red ink. He took someone else last year. I found her necklace, buried in the dirt near the old well. Her name was June. Police stopped reading. June Derrickson had gone missing 11 months ago, also 17. Also last seen walking her dog near the woods. Her case went cold. Until now, search teams spread out, deeper into Dead Pine Trail, but K9s began to act strange. One refused to move forward, whined, scratched at the ground, wouldn't take another step. Near a twisted pine root, they found something partially buried, wrapped in a strip of denim and tied with twine. Another diary, older, mold-covered, different handwriting. Inside the cover, a name, June Derrickson, 2006 to 2023. They flipped to the last page. Said only, "The trees lie, but the silence is the truth." He waits in the hollow, and he never takes just one. 2 girls, 2 diaries, a forest filled with secrets. What Eleanor wrote in her final entries will uncover a trail of vanishings, hidden truths, and something older than the town itself. The discovery of June Derrickson's diary shook the entire investigation. Her case had been cold for almost a year. No leads, no suspects, not even a working theory. But now, 2 girls, same location, same symbols, same handwriting in both diaries. He wears no face, but he sees everything. Detective Rachel Keene was brought in from Lansing. She specialized in disappearances tied to isolated areas, forest towns, vanishing trails, local superstition blending with real-world horror. Her first question wasn't where Eleanor was. It was why now? Why did Eleanor wait months before calling for help? Why keep a diary instead of telling anyone? Then she saw the drawings. Eleanor's sketchbook wasn't just a journal. It was a map, not of roads, but of symbols. Every few pages, the same figure appeared. A tall man, too tall, limbs bending wrong, head smooth and wooden, like a rotten log carved into a mask. No eyes, no mouth, just empty sockets. But what caught Detective Keene's eye were the trees. Eleanor drew them as if they leaned toward the figure, like the forest itself bent in worship. Each drawing had strange glyphs etched in the margins. Not letters, not numbers, but one matched something in June's diary. A crude sigil like an eye with vertical slashes. It looked ancient, repeated over and over. Eleanor called it the hollow mark. She wrote, "It appears when he's near, on bark, on rocks, even on my window." Detectives returned to the trail. This time they looked closer. They found it, carved into 3 separate trees, always near where the K9s refused to pass. The same hollow mark, and each one faced the same direction, east, deeper into the uncharted section of Dead Pine. 2 days later, a volunteer searcher, retired game warden Hal Trent, made a grim discovery. Near a crumbling hunting blind, beneath years of fallen leaves, he found a rusted lunchbox sealed with tape. Inside was another diary. This one wasn't Eleanor's, or June's. It belonged to Jenna Cass, a girl reported missing in 2004. Age 16, her case had long been written off as a runaway. She lived only 5 miles from Dead Pine Trail. The diary confirmed otherwise. "I keep hearing the bells at night. The old ones said not to follow them, but I did. And I saw him. His face isn't real. It moves, like wood creaking. He never speaks, but he watches. He doesn't like light or music. He only comes when it's quiet. I think I'm already dead, but my body hasn't caught up yet." Jenna's last entry mirrored Eleanor's. "If you see the hollow mark, turn around. Don't blink, don't speak, and never follow the bells." He took the others, and he always comes in 3s. That line froze the room. 3 girls, 3 diaries, 3 disappearances. The hollow man always came in 3s. Detective Keene shifted her focus. If this wasn't just a coincidence, what did the town know? She found an old resident, Reverend Miles Trent, 82, living in a nursing home. When shown the hollow mark, he whispered, "So it started again." He told a story, one Coldwater no longer told out loud. "When I was a boy, they warned us. Stay away from the quarry woods during the frost moon. That's when he walks. The hollow man is not flesh, not spirit. He's in between. Born from a wrong death, a hanging that shouldn't have happened. During the old mill days, 3 brothers were accused of witchcraft. The townsfolk burned the oldest alive. The youngest drowned. But the middle one, they hung him from a hollow pine. The tree was diseased, black on the inside. The rope snapped before he died. But they buried him anyway. Some say his soul never left, that the forest became his body, that anyone who sees him feeds him. The Reverend looked up with clouded eyes. He doesn't hunt. He waits. And if he's taken 3, he's not done yet. Detective Keene had one more piece of evidence. The original 911 call. She brought it to a forensic audio tech in Detroit. After isolating background layers, they found something chilling behind Eleanor's voice. Low tones, rhythmic, not wind, not footsteps, not wildlife, but chimes, tuned to a minor key, warped like they were echoing underwater. The bells. Then, under the scream, something else. A voice, not Eleanor's, not the dispatcher's, not male or female. A guttural whisper, only 3 words. She is next. The tech enhanced it, slowed it, reversed it. The voice stayed the same. Cold, hollow, mechanical, not human. Eleanor never ran. She was taken. Aunt May Blackwood hadn't spoken to press, kept to herself. But when Detective Keene showed her the latest diary, she went pale. Then she brought something out of Eleanor's closet. A shoebox, locked, inside letters, dozens of them, all written to June Derrickson. Dear June, I found your necklace. I think he's still here. They forgot about you, but I won't. If I disappear, it's because I went looking. You called out to me in the dark. I heard you. Eleanor believed June was trying to warn her. Aunt May confessed. Eleanor would wake up screaming at night, draw trees in her sleep. Once, she came in from the woods soaking wet, whispering. I almost followed the bells. She never told anyone, thought it was just trauma. But the last letter was dated the day before she vanished. It ended with, tomorrow I'll go past the mark, past the place where the birds stop singing. If I don't come back, I'm with her now. She knew she was walking into something, and she went anyway. Using the symbols in Eleanor's drawings, Detective Keene triangulated a possible location, an unmarked section of forest near the quarry's edge. Aerial maps showed a circular grove of blackened pine trees, trees that hadn't grown new branches in years. In the center, a mound, half collapsed, covered in vines. Cadaver dogs reacted instantly, started digging. What they found wasn't a body. It was a door, a wooden trapdoor, sealed with rusted nails and a carved plank bearing the hollow mark. No hinges, no handle, just a hole burned through the center like something clawed its way out. Detective Keene made the call. Do not open it. Not yet. But something happened that night. A storm rolled in. Wind hit 60 miles per hour. By morning, the mound was gone. The door buried. The ground smooth, as if it had never been touched. And the hollow mark? Now carved into the trunk of every tree in the grove. On the 9th day of Eleanor's disappearance, her cell phone pinged again. 1 bar, same forest, a quarter-mile from the burial grove. Deputies followed the signal. They found a boot print, small, her size, and beside it, buried under a pile of leaves, her phone. Screen cracked, battery dead, but inside the case was a folded piece of notebook paper. Her handwriting, 1 sentence, he doesn't live in the woods. The woods live in him. And then, he's still hungry. 3 girls, 3 diaries, and a legend more real than anyone dared believe. What the police will uncover next leads them to a hidden history of Coldwater County. One that some families tried to bury, and others still protect. What started as a strange 911 call, a girl's voice echoing through static, led to a blood-stained diary in the middle of nowhere. But now, what the police uncovered in those final pages, what the town had buried for decades, was darker than anyone feared. The last entry in Eleanor's diary wasn't just a cry for help. It was a warning. If you find this, Don't trust them. Don't trust the ones who smile. They know what lives in the woods. They fed it. They still do. And scrawled beneath it, in shaky letters, was a name. Sheriff Connolly. Detective Lauren Vega stood in the office, rain streaking the windows. Across from her sat Sheriff Bill Connolly, face pale, lips tight. Sheriff Connolly, you're reading too much into a scared girl's words. But Lauren wasn't buying it anymore. Not after she found the torn page tucked behind the back cover of Eleanor's diary. The one detailing a ritual, a local story turned real. The legend of the Hollowed. Every 20 years, the trees demand something back. A life, a girl. It's not just a story. They told me I was next. They said if I didn't go, the town would suffer. I thought they were joking, but they were serious, dead serious. And 20 years ago, another girl vanished. Her name? Rachel Connolly, the sheriff's niece, reported missing during a camping trip. Case closed fast. Locals told to forget. They never found a body. The pattern was there. 1983, 2003, now 2023. Each time, same time of year, same wooded area, same silence. Each time, evidence disappeared. Lauren cross-referenced case files. 2 were marked confidential. 1 had pages blacked out. A former officer finally spoke. Off the record, retired deputy. There were whispers about the Hollowed, about sacrifices. But when I asked too much, I got reassigned. Lauren returned to the woods alone. She followed Eleanor's steps, mapped from the diary. Near the burned tree stump, she found a trapdoor, hidden beneath a pile of moss and branches. She opened it. Wooden steps led down, into darkness. No flashlight, just her phone. The air was heavy, wet, like breathing through a soaked cloth. At the bottom, an old cellar, covered in symbols matching the ones from Eleanor's notebook. And in the center, a necklace, Eleanor's, still warm. Lauren demanded answers. The town council gave blank stares. Some shifted in their seats. But Mayor Gray finally spoke. Mayor Gray, there are things older than this town, and we've always balanced the cost. He admitted it. They knew. The Hollowed wasn't a myth, it was an agreement. Every 2 decades, a girl was given. They didn't kill her, they just let her go. Into the woods. The entity did the rest. In return, no drought, no fire, no illness. The town prospered. Lauren, you're telling me you offered Eleanor? Mayor Gray, she had the blood. Her grandmother made the first pact. The girl was marked. She would have died anyway. Lauren found another diary belonging to Amelia Wright, Eleanor's grandmother. Amelia wrote about the creature, described it not as a beast, but a hunger, shapeless, ancient. Spoke to her, promised safety if the cycle continued. And in her final entry, dated 1983, I told them if I ever had a granddaughter, she'd be the last. After her, no more. The woods will rot, and so will we. Amelia tried to stop it, but the town didn't. Lauren returned with search teams. They moved quickly, but near the ruins of an old chapel deep in the forest, something strange happened. The GPS cut out. Radios died. Then, screaming, one officer vanished, pulled into the dark like a ragdoll. They ran. But Lauren, she stayed. She followed the sound of crying. Deep inside the trees, surrounded by stone pillars covered in blood, she found her. Eleanor, alive, barely, eyes wide, muddied, skin cold. But she was whispering, "It's watching, but it's weakening." Lauren pulled her out, carried her on foot. Behind her, the woods shook, trees bent, not with wind but rage. Eleanor survived 72 hours alone. Hunted, watched, but not taken. She saw the thing, said it didn't look like anything, just felt like death. But something had changed. His power wasn't the same, because the town's secret was out. The pact broken. The story exploded. Girl escapes pagan forest cult. Police discover town's chilling rituals. Connolly resigned. Several council members arrested for obstruction, cover-up, and conspiracy. But no one could prove what truly lived in those woods. No photos, no footage, only Eleanor's testimony and the diary. I didn't die, but I'm not the same. I hear it, still, sometimes in the walls, sometimes in my dreams. They fed it my name, but I took it back. The woods are quiet now. Search teams cleared the ruins. The cellar was sealed. Locals avoid the trail. No more packs, but trees still whisper. And some nights, the wind sounds like laughter. Eleanor's story isn't just about survival. It's about truth, about what happens when we bury our guilt in soil and feed it to silence. The town made a deal with darkness, but the light always finds its way through the trees. When communities protect secrets over people, the monsters aren't just in the woods. Sometimes they wear a badge.